Hi, are you ready for some bedtime stories? Because I know Bernard and I are, and we've got a couple special ones because tomorrow around here is the first day of school. So let's get started with one called School's First Day of School. This is written by Adam Rex and illustrated by Christian Robinson. And it's a Neil Porter book published by Roaring Book Press. That summer, they dug up the big field and poured the foundation and set brick on top of brick until they built a school. A sign above the door read, Frederick Douglass Elementary. That's a good name for me, thought the school. Most days, a man named Janitor came to mop the school and buff his floors and wash his windows. This is nice, the school said to the janitor. Just the two of us. Oh, won't be just us for long, said Janitor. Soon the teachers will come, and then you'll be filled with children. The school creaked. Children? Oh, all kinds of children. They'll come to play games and to learn. Oh, said the school. Will you be here? Oh, you'll see me after the school day is over, said Janitor. Don't worry, you'll like the children. But the school thought that Janitor was probably wrong about that. And then they came. The children did, and there were more of them than the school could possibly have imagined. They got everywhere. They opened and closed all of his doors and lockers and drank water from its fountains and played on his jungle gym. So that's what that's for, thought the school. Some of the older kids gathered by the school's back fence and showed each other their bored faces. This place stinks, said one, and the school gasped. I hate school, said another with puffy hair, to the agreement of his friend. The school sagged a little. One very small girl with freckles didn't want to come inside the school at all. Her mother had to carry her. Oh, I must be awful, the school whispered to himself. Later, he squirted the puffy-haired kid in the face and then, well, felt bad for that afterwards. He watched the kindergarten kids sit on one of his rugs. The teacher said, as we go around the circle, please tell us your name. There was an Aiden, and a Max, and a Bella, and another Aiden, and an Emma, and a Caden, and a Chloe. The small girl with freckles was next, but she wouldn't speak. She only stared at her shoes until the teacher moved on. I don't like school, she whispered to her lap. Well, thought school, maybe it doesn't like you either. The children were in their chairs finally, but just as the school was starting to relax, his fire alarm sounded, and all the children exited and walked to the other side of the field and stared at him. He was so embarrassed. He held his doors open for them when they returned. Sorry, he said, as the first children entered. Sorry, 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 he told them all, even the girl with the freckles. At 12 o'clock, the school was filled with food. At 12:30, the school was filled with garbage. At one table, a boy told a funny joke and another laughed so hard that the milk came out of his nose. Now I'm covered with nose milk, thought the school. He had to admit it was a pretty funny joke, though. Even the girl with the freckles liked it. After lunch, the kindergarten kids learned about shapes. A rectangle has 4 sides, said the teacher. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a square has 4 sides too. In fact, a square is actually a special kind of rectangle. Wow, said the school. I didn't know that. Afterward, the children made pictures with glitter and paste. The girl with freckles made a picture of the school. Why, it looks just like me, thought the school, except glittery. It's like she's known me all my life. Do you think I could have your picture? The teacher asked the little girl. Don't tell anyone, but I think it's the best. The school thought she was probably right about that. The freckled girl smiled when the teacher stuck her drawing onto the school wall with a pushpin. Ouch, said the school, but he didn't mind, not really. At 3 o'clock, the parents came to pick up the children. I was full of kids, the school told him, when the janitor came at 3:30. And I heard a joke, and I accidentally had a fire drill, but everyone was nice about it. And I listened to a classroom, and I learned about shapes, he told the janitor. You had a big day, said janitor. Do you think, the school said, do you think you could invite everyone to come back tomorrow? Especially that little freckled girl? Janitor nodded. I'll see what I can do. Later, janitor sat on top of the school, and together they watched the sun go down. In the beginning, I didn't know what I was, said the school. I thought I was your house. Nope, said the janitor. I suppose some other place gets to be your house, the school added. And janitor nodded. That's true, but you get to be a school, and that's lucky. And the school thought he was probably right about that. Do you ever think about the building that you go into, your school, and what kind of things it might be thinking and feeling? I know it's gotten all spruced up for you. Well, I've got 5 little monkeys who are jumping on the bed. When one fell off, bumped his head. So his mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So 4 little monkeys are jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So his mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So that means 3 little monkeys are jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So his mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So now there are 2 little monkeys who are jumping on the bed. One fell off and he bumped his head. So mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. And that leaves 1 little monkey who is jumping on the bed. When she fell off, she bumped her head. So her mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So there are no more monkeys, but I have a story about a little pig, and his name is Rufus. This is called Rufus Goes to School. It's written by Kim T. Griswold and illustrated by Valery Gorbachev, one of my favorites, and it's published by Sterling's Children's Books. Now every day, Rufus Leroy Williams III turned the pages of his favorite book. He looked at every picture. He made up stories to go with them, but he could not read the words. Rufus knew just what to do. He would go to school and learn to read. But first, he needed a backpack. Early the next morning, Rufus scuttled down the street to school. He peeked through the window at the front door. And then he trotted down the hall to the principal's office. He was greeted by the principal's secretary. Principal Lippett's secretary knocked on his door. There's a pig to see you, she told the principal. Rufus stepped forward. My name is Rufus Leroy Williams III, he said. I have a backpack. I am ready for school. The principal shook his head. No pigs in school. Oh, why not? Said Rufus. Because pigs track mud in the halls, said Principal Lippett. And they turn their drawings into airplanes. and they play leapfrog in class, and they start food fights in the cafeteria. Rufus frowned. But I have a backpack. Makes no difference, said Principal Lippett, and he showed Rufus to the door. Well, Rufus Leroy Williams III really wanted to go to school, and he knew just what he needed: a lunchbox. So right before lunchtime, the secretary poked her head into the principal's office. "The pig is back," she whispered. "My name is Rufus Leroy Williams III, he said. "I have a backpack and a lunchbox. I am ready for school." The principal folded his arms. "No pigs in school." "Why not?" asked Rufus. "Because pigs knock over the block towers, and they hide under the teacher's desk. Pigs draw stick figures on the chalkboard," and he waggled his finger at Rufus, "and they chase their classmates during recess." "But I have a backpack and a lunchbox," Rufus frowned. "Makes no difference," said Principal Lippett, and he waved Rufus out the door. Well, Rufus Leroy Williams III really wanted to go to school, and he knew just what he needed: a blanket, he said. And during nap time, the secretary opened Principal Lippett's door. "Sir," she said. Rufus Leroy Williams III rushed past her. "I have a backpack, a lunchbox, and a blanket, and now I am really ready for school." The principal sighed. "I told you, no pigs." "Wait," said Rufus. "I will never blow bubbles in my milk, or finger paint my classmates. I will not stand on my head during nap time, or leave nose prints on the windows, and I will come to school every day." "Sorry," the principal shook his head. "No pigs in school." "But I have a backpack, a lunchbox, and a blanket," said Rufus. "Is that all?" said the principal. Rufus frowned. What else could he need for school? "Oh, I have this," and Rufus held up his favorite book, "and I want to learn to read it." "Ah," Principal Lippett smiled. "That makes a difference." He escorted Rufus out of his office and down the hall. "This is Rufus Leroy Williams III, Principal Lippett announced as they entered a classroom, "and he will be joining your class." "Hooray!" shouted the boys and girls. Rufus Leroy Williams III put away his backpack, his lunchbox, his blanket, and his favorite book. He was ready for school. Rufus loved learning the ABCs, and especially the letter P for pigs. He loved learning the 1, 2, 3s. He loved lunchtime and nap time. But Rufus loved story time most of all, because it gave him room to dream. I think he's gonna like school a lot. Well, can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out and wiggle your waggles away. And can you clap, clap, clap your crazies out, clap, clap, clap your crazies out, clap, clap, clap your crazies out, and wiggle your waggles away. Can you stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out, stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out, stretch, stretch, Stretch your stretchies out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you stand up? And can you jump, jump, jump your jiggles out? Jump, jump, jump your jiggles out. Jump, jump, jump your jiggles out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you yawn? Yawn your sleepies out, yawn. Yawn your sleepies out, yawn. Yawn your sleepies out and wiggle your waggles away. Can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out? Shake, shake, shake your sillies out. Shake, shake, shake your sillies out and wiggle your waggles away. Well, kind of going along with Rufus going to school, remember he wanted to learn how to read? And this is about Library Fish, who also wants to learn to read. This is by Alyssa Satin Capucilli and illustrated by Gladys Jose and published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers. It's a Paula Wiseman book. Now, Library Fish loved her home on the desk of Mr. Hughes, the librarian. It was the perfect place to welcome every visitor to the library. And from where she sat, Library Fish could check each book that was borrowed and returned. Now, Library Fish loved watching everyone wind through the bookshelves searching for just the right book. She loved the quiet hum of the room as each person settled into a nice, comfortable spot to read and read and read and read. And of course, when someone wanted to practice reading, Library Fish listened carefully. She never interrupted. Still, story time was always her favorite part of the day. Mr. Hughes read stories that made the Library Fish quiver with excitement. Sometimes he read stories that made her laugh out loud. Now today, Mr. Fish held a book that Library Fish had never seen before. He read the title and the name of the author and the illustrator. It was Dog Loves to Read. Well, Library Fish was all ears. Once there was a dog, Mr. Hughes began, who loved stories. Library Fish nodded. I love stories too, she thought. So she inched closer so she could hear Mr. Hughes continue. Whether he was listening to a story or looking through wonderful illustrations, each and every book took the dog on a new adventure. Library Fish giggled. Me too, she thought. Stories had taken her on amazing adventures. What happened next, she wondered. One day, the dog decided he would learn to read. Learn to read? Whispered Library Fish. Go on, go on. It took a lot of time and patience and practice, but after some time, the dog began to read all by himself. Mr. Hughes read. Now, Mr. Hughes had not even turned the page when Library Fish wanted to clap. She wanted to cheer. She wanted to hear the story again and again. And most of all, Library Fish wanted to learn to read too. Library Fish swam around her bowl. She already knew the library was the very place to learn to read. She was surrounded by everything she needed to begin. Still, it would take some planning. Library Fish waited until Mr. Hughes called, "Good night, Library Fish. Keep an eye on the library." And then she sprang into action. Filled with all the possibility of a great story, Library Fish was ready for her newest adventure. So with plenty of hard work and determination, and of course imagination, Library Fish soon landed on the desk of Mr. Hughes with a triumphant splash. "First stop, the alphabet," said Library Fish. Library Fish had listened to Mr. Hughes teach readers about the alphabet any number of times. The alphabet is made of letters, Mr. Hughes had said. Letters make sounds, and when we string and weave and blend those sounds together, we get words, and words make stories. So one by one, Library Fish studied the letters carefully. Hour after hour, night after night, she made sure she knew every letter and each sound it made. F is for fish. That was one of her favorites. Z's were always welcome after a long night's work. Z. Now in time, Fish found she could put letters together to make sounds. F-I-S-H, W-I-S-H, wish. S-W-I-S-H, swish. She could read small words too, like a and two. And even her fishbowl was filled with fun words like glub and wiggle, what her tail did, and bubble, that she liked to blow. Library Fish practiced reading to her friend Bookmobile. She practiced reading to no one at all. And when someone wanted to practice reading to Library Fish, oh, she listened with great attention, as always. And then she practiced reading right back in a very quiet voice, of course. Library Fish pored over page after page, book after book, and when she couldn't quite figure out a word, the illustrations were there to help her. One night, Library Fish went up and down the aisles of the library in search of just the right book. She chose one carefully and settled into a comfortable spot. Slowly, Library Fish read one word, and then another, and then another. She read line after line, page after page. She giggled, she gasped, she laughed out loud. And when she came to the last page, Library Fish read aloud in her proudest voice, "The end." It was only when the sun began to peek into the sky that Library Fish tucked herself into her bowl. She drifted off to sleep, murmuring, "I am a reader. I am a reader." The next morning, Library Fish welcomed every visitor to the library. It was sure to be a busy day, but tonight, she thought, tonight might be the perfect time to share all I've learned with a good friend. She could hardly wait to begin. See, she's reading it to the Bookmobile. Yeah. I like that story. I think there's another book about Library Fish that we'll have to have sometime. But right now, I think we ought to put some monkeys up in a tree. 5 little monkeys swinging in the tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile, "You can't catch me." But along came Mr. Crocodile, as hungry as can be, and he went snap. Hide one of your monkeys. 4 little monkeys are swinging in the tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile, "You can't catch me." Along comes Mr. Crocodile, as hungry as can be, and he goes snap. 3 little monkeys are swinging in the tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile, "You can't catch me." Along comes Mr. Crocodile, as hungry as can be, and he goes snap. 2 little monkeys are swinging in the tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile, "You can't catch me." Along comes Mr. Crocodile, as hungry as can be, and he goes snap. So 1 little monkey is swinging in the tree, Teasing Mr. Crocodile, you can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Crocodile, as hungry as can be, and he goes snap. So now there are no little monkeys swinging in the tree. I'd better watch out so he won't catch me. I hope he won't. Well, let's have one more story. And it might sound a little familiar, but it's twisted just a little bit. This is called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's written by Erica S. Pearl and illustrated by Arthur Howard. And it's published by Beach Lane Books. Well, once upon a time, there was a kid named Goldilocks. Did I say that right? Goldilocks. Because, of course, she's a goat. Now, she lived down the road from a family of bears. And when the bears went out for a walk one morning, well, you can probably guess what Goldilocks did. Inside the bear's house, Goldilocks found 3 bowls of porridge. She tasted the big bowl, but oh, it was too hot. She tasted the medium bowl, but it was too cold. So then she tasted the little bowl, and it was just right. So she ate it, bowl and all, and the little spoon too. And then she went burp. Next, Goldilocks found 3 chairs. She tried the big chair, but it was too hard. She tried the medium chair, but it was too soft. Then she tried the little chair. Oh, it was just right. So she ate it, cushions and all. Well, at this point, Goldilocks began to feel sleepy. Upstairs, she found 3 beds. She tested the big bed, but it was too lumpy. She tested the medium bed, but it was too squishy. And then she tested the little bed. It was just right. So she ate it, plus the blanket, 2 pillows, and a pair of pajamas. And then with a contented sigh, Goldilocks fell fast asleep. Shortly thereafter, the bears came home. And you can probably imagine the commotion. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," said Papa Bear. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," said Mama Bear. "Hey, where's my porridge?" asked Baby Bear. "Oh, get a load of this," called Papa Bear from the dining room. "Somebody's been sitting in my chair." "Oh, gracious," said Mama Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair." "Hey, where's my chair?" asked Baby Bear. Well, they found the culprit upstairs. "My bed," wailed Baby Bear. "It's gone." Goldilocks opened her eyes, and above her stood 1, 2, 3 bears. Oh, quickly she jumped up and hoofed it for home, which probably sounds like the end of the story. But the next day, Goldilocks woke up feeling, well, a little sheepish. She wanted to make things right with her neighbors, but how? Outside, she found her answer. And how could the bears resist? Her gift was so pretty. The card says, "For the 3 bears." Oh, so thoughtful. It was just right. So, well, what do you think? They ate it. And Baby Bear went burp. As I said, just a little bit of a twist on that one. Well, can you, let's see, find some bubble gum in your pocket? No, I don't want real gum because that would be way too sticky for us. But maybe some pretend bubble gum. Just reach in your pocket and pull out your piece of pretend bubble gum, unwrap it, and then pop it in your mouth. Chew it up until it's all soft and squishy. Are you ready? Put out your hand. Spit your gum in your hand. 1, 2, 3. And clap your other hand on top. And now your hands are stuck together with sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your chin. You don't want to leave it there, do you? So let's get it off. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your back. Don't want to leave it there either. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your cheek. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your knee. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your nose. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your arm. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on mom or dad. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum. Time to throw it in the trash. All right, let's move those books over there and let's get ready for not the flannel board. I found another one to go on our magnet board. And since school is starting, I thought, well, maybe we'd have one about something you might need at school, some crayons. Well, walking in the toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say. I don't like red, said yellow. And green said, nor do I. Said blue to all the others. No one here likes orange, and no one quite knows why. We're all a box of crayons that doesn't get along. Said blue to all the others. Something here is wrong. Well, I bought that box of crayons, and I took it home with me, and I laid out all the colors so all the crayons could see. Give me just a second to lay them all out here. I'm just glad this isn't a box of 64. I think I'll move these over here because I kind of would like that space in the middle there for something else. So they watched me as I colored. And I used the red and blue and green and black and white and orange and every color in between. They watched as green became the grass. And blue became the sky. And the yellow sun was shining on bright white clouds up in the sky. The colors changed as they touched, becoming something new. They watched me as I colored. They watched till I was through. And when I finally finished and I began to walk away, and as I did, that crayon box had something more to say. I do like red, said Yellow. And Green said, so do I. And Blue, why, you were terrific, so high up in the sky. We're all a box of crayons. Let's shove them on over so we can put some in the box. And each of us is unique. But when we get together, well, that picture is complete. Did you get some new crayons for your new school year? Nothing like that, is there? All right. Well, let's finish with our Jungle Night story. This is by Sandra Boynton and published by Workman. Well, it's nighttime in the jungle. The moon will surely rise. All the animals are sleeping with whisperings and sighs. Listen to the tiger, zee-zoo, ha. Listen to the cheetah, chee-chee-ta. Can you hear the crocodile? Snorkel-oo, snorkel-oo. And all the little monkeys, chatter-choo, chatter-choo. Vagrant, vagrant, go the Red River hogs. Rop, roppet, rop, roppet, go the green jungle frogs. The dazzling bird makes a long, quiet coo. And the great big gorilla goes hee, hoo, hoo, hoo. But sometime after midnight, the elephant goes snore. And well, whoever had been sleeping isn't sleeping anymore. Well, I hope you'll be able to go to sleep tonight and enjoy a good night's sleep. And join me next week with my friend Bernard, who's down on the floor taking a nap, if you can believe that. But we'll both be back next week with some more stories for your bedtime enjoyment. Bye-bye.